Hello, my name is Kenneth Hollins with HollinsMusic.com, and thank you so much for tuning in to view this video that I have for you today. And today what I have is something that I really believe will help many gospel musicians. And in particular, I'm going to be showing you today how to overcome the challenge of playing in all 12 keys. Now, this is a challenge that many gospel musicians have. And so today, what I'm going to do is share with you some very basic tips that if you would incorporate them and apply them to your playing, I believe it will really help you to be able to play in all 12 keys. Okay? Are you ready? I believe this will help you. Okay? First thing is this. When it comes to learning how to play in all 12 keys, the first thing that you have to do is change the way that you think. Okay? That is so important. The way that you think about playing and the way that you think about music. And so how should a person think when they want to play in all 12 keys? You should think mathematically. Because see, music is mathematical. Now this is the thing about it when it comes to math. 2 plus 2 is always 4. 4 plus 4 is always 8. 5 minus 3 is always 2. That's mathematical. So it's a consistent and a stable thing that does not change. And as it relates to music, music is also mathematical. So it will also be consistent and stable and the same thing if you are thinking mathematically. Okay, let me give you an example of what I mean about music being mathematical. Let's take a major scale, for example. Okay, let's take the C major scale, which most of us already know, which is simply C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. Okay, and I believe most of us also know that each note of the major scale has a number that goes with it that's called a scale degree or a scale number. So since this is the first note of the scale, this is going to be number 1. And then as we keep going, the next note of the scale would be number 2. Then we keep going, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then as we come back down or descend, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so this is what I mean when I say that music is mathematical, and you have to begin to think this way if you want to easily play in all 12 keys. And so that's the first thing. Now the second thing is this: to always remember that there is no such thing as a hard key. No such thing as a hard key. There are only unfamiliar keys. Okay? If you think that there are certain keys that are hard to play in, 9 times out of 10 you're going to avoid that key, or it's just going to be something in your mind that makes you not want to play in it. So you have to remove that from your thinking. There's no such thing as a hard key. It's only unfamiliar keys. So for example, if I learn to play something in the key of A flat, and then I get comfortable in A flat because I play a lot in A flat, to me that feels easy. But it's not necessarily an easy key, it's just a familiar key because I spend time in the key of A flat. And so say for example, it's a song that I know in the key of A flat. And for whatever reason, now I need to play it in the key of A. But I'm not as familiar with A. And so now maybe I feel a little apprehensive or a little intimidated to take that same song that I know very well in A flat and play it in the key of A. Does that make the key of A difficult? Does it make the key of A hard? No. It's just an unfamiliar key. And why is it unfamiliar? Because I don't spend as much time in that key as I do another. So that's the second thing. Stop avoiding keys. Don't avoid any more keys. Make yourself play in all 12 keys evenly. So a great thing to do is to take something that you want to learn how to play in each key and then try to apply that. For example, with the example that I just used, I believe this was the chorus part of More Than Anything, I Love You, Jesus by Lamar Campbell. Okay, now say for example, I need to learn that in the key of B natural, and I'm not real comfortable with that. Okay, can I do it? Okay, let's try it in a different key. Say, for example, in the key of D natural. Okay, now I just used that for an example. Now, I did not pre-plan what key that I was going to demonstrate this in. As a matter of fact, I didn't even pre-plan the song. I just thought of something to play, and I played it in A flat, and then I just thought of some different keys. I could play it, really, I could play it in any 12 keys. And it's not because, well, he's a great musician, or he's just gifted, or he is just blessed. No, What it really is I'm thinking mathematically. It's nothing any deeper than that. I'm just thinking mathematically. Let me give you an example. Okay? So in the key of A flat, let me explain to you what's going on in my head. Now, I'm to the point now where I in a sense, kind of do it subconsciously, but I do know that I am doing it the way that I am thinking. Okay? So, I'm literally playing in the key of A flat, and the A flat scale is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So in my mind, when I play this song, I'm thinking 4 chord, or the 4th scale degree of the scale. And then the next chord, I'm thinking 6 chord. All right, that's what's going on in my mind. All right, now what I'm thinking is a 5 chord with a 6 bass note. And then here, I'm thinking a suspended 7th chord over 1. And then I'm thinking about resolving on a dominant 7, then back to the 4, back to the 6, okay, back to the 5 chord over 7, 1 chord, okay. This is the 2 chord, but I'm playing it like as if I have a raised 5th. Okay, we'll get to that in just a few minutes. Okay, I'm thinking about this like a 3 chord or a 1 chord with a 3 bass note, then to the 4. So literally, that's what's going on in my mind. I'm thinking mathematically. Okay, so why is that so beneficial? Now, as I go to another key, I don't have to necessarily think about a lot of different notes, but I can think about the numbers of the new key that I'm in. So let's try a different key now. Let's try something that I didn't do before. And again, I hadn't pre-planned this, so I'll just pick one just off the top of my head. Let's try it in the key of E. All right. So I know the major scale in E. So E, which is 1, F sharp 2, G sharp 3, A 4, B is 5, 6, 7, and then to 8. So I know the major scale very well. Okay? All right, so now let's see if I can do it in the key of E with the thinking of the numbers of the chords. Okay? So I played, if I can remember, when I was in the key of A flat, I went from the 4 to the 6 to the 5 major over 7 to the suspended 7 over 1. Then I resolved it to dominant 7, and then back to the 4 chord again, okay, which was a major 7. So let's see if we can take that same thinking or that same information and apply it to the new key. So now we're in the key of E. So what is the 4 of E? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I played a major chord or really like a major 7 chord right there. So I'm going to play an A major or A major 7 right here. And then, if you remember, we went to the 6 chord. All right, so in the key of E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be some type of C sharp chord. And I know just from playing it in the other key, it was a minor chord. So here we go, C sharp minor. This is C sharp minor 11, the voicing that I'm using. So we went from here. All right, and then it's a little melody thing going on. All right, and then it goes to the 7 chord, or really a more accurate way to look at it is a 5 chord. Okay, so in the key of E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is B, so it's going to be a B major over 7. And when I say over 7, I mean you have 1 chord, and then with your bass note, you're playing a different scale number or a different note. So we're playing the 5 chord with the right hand, which is B major, and then with the left hand, we're playing the 7th of the E major scale, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we put that together. All right, and then we keep going. All right, the next one was a suspended 7 over 1. And then we resolved it to an E dominant 7 or a dominant 7 chord over the 1, and then back to the 4. So this is what's going on in my mind. I'm thinking mathematically. Now, this may seem complicated to someone that may be watching right now. You may be thinking, well, that seems real hard. That seems real difficult. It's really not if you really get to the place where you learn all of your major scales. So now this brings me to our second point. The first point was to change the way that you think. Think mathematically about music, okay? In order to do that, you have to think about numbers, think about the scale degree that you're on, think mathematically, and then remove the thought or the notion that there are hard keys. There are no hard keys, only familiar keys. So that's how you get started. Now, the second step would be to learn all of your major scales, okay? I preach that all of the time as it relates to developing as a keyboardist, as an organist, you know, and it's just a matter of sitting down and just taking the time to do it. It's nothing hard about a major scale. And you actually may be a very, very advanced musician in terms of your playing, but maybe just haven't taken the time to really, really learn the major scales because maybe you don't really see the need for it or the value that's really in it. But it's so vitally important and helpful to know your major scales. And when I say know them, I mean really know them. For example, you know, you can play them without any errors, any mistakes, and then even go as far as to the point of knowing them where you know them in your head. For example, I know the D major scale is comprised of D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp. Okay, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp. For example, I know, I don't have to play it, I know that the E flat major scale consists of E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, E flat. Okay, I know the E major scale. I know the F scale. Okay, and see, the thing that would get some musicians sometimes is they would say, well, that's no big deal. I mean, I can figure out the major scale. I can do that. But can you do it without using your ear? Okay, because most of us have real good ears that play gospel music. If you play gospel music, chances are your ear is a little bit more evolved or advanced than if you are a musician where you only read sheet music. Okay, I read sheet music, but I also play by ear as well. And so when it comes to gospel music and playing by ear and learning the way that many gospel musicians learn, just naturally, without even trying, it really develops your ear. And so what happens is, you know, you will get to the place where you rely on that, and you may say, well, I can play the D major scale. That's a piece of cake. And I said, well, play the D major scale. And you do this. No, that's not it. Yeah. No. Yeah. There you go, the D major scale. Well, what I'm talking about is knowing how to play the scale whether you can hear the notes or not. So if I asked you, play for me the A major scale with the keyboard off, could you do that? Or tell me what is the sixth tone of the B major scale? Right now, could you tell me that? Or what is the seventh tone of the E major scale? Could you tell me that? Because see, that's the way that you really need to know your major scales. Know them in your head, know them internally, even without the assistance of the keyboard. For example, all right, and let's see if we can do this. In the key of C major, what note is the number 2? Okay, that's D. That was easy. You probably caught that one real easy. All right, what note is the number 6? What's that? That's A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're still in the key of C. What note is the number 7? B. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Most of you all probably got that completely right. Now let's look at some different keys. Let's look at the key of B natural. Okay, all right. What's number 5? Okay, that's F sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. What's number 7? That's A sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. What's 4? That's E. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So let's go to another key. Let's go to the key of A. All right. What's the 4th scale degree in the key of A? That's D. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's the 7th scale degree in the key of A? G sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the way that you need to know your major scales. Not only be able to play them in your head, but also to identify what note and number go together. Okay? And that's how you can do it. So when you go back to now, you're playing real songs, right? Okay? That's the point of us knowing this. All right? Not just to play scales just for the sake of playing them, but we're trying to train our minds to think mathematically. See, that's what we're trying to do. So now, this is the 4 chord, and this is the 6 chord, and generally all I'm really doing at this point is I'm looking at what my bass notes are. Okay, so I'm relying a lot on my bass notes in terms of what scale number I'm on. Now, there will be chords where you will have what I call slash chords or split chords, that really it's a particular chord that you're playing, but the bass note is different. Okay, I call those slash chords. For example, you may have a C major chord on the top, a slash, and then a G. So I would call that C major over G, or the numbers would be a major chord, a 1 major over 5. Okay, that's what we would call that. And so we're going to take that same information and again, let's apply it to another key. Let's take it to the key of F. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now 4 chord, 6 chord, 5 chord over 7, suspended over 1, dominant 7 over 1, 4 chord, 6 chord, 5 over 7, 1 chord, all right, 2 chord, then 1 chord over 3 to the 4, okay? Let's try a different key. Let's do it in the key of F sharp. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 chord, 6 chord, 5 over 7, then suspended over 1, then this is dominant 7 over 1, 4 chord again, 6, then this is the 5 over 7, 1 chord again, all right, 2 chord, this is the 3 chord going to the, or the 1 chord over 3 going to the, okay, so I'm just demonstrating that this will really apply to real music. Okay, so learning your scales is not a waste of time. It is something that will literally empower you to where playing in every key will not be a challenge. You can comfortably do it, you know. Now, depending on positioning and things like that, certain keys may be a little bit more comfortable, but it won't be a thing that is hard to play. You'll be able to do whatever you need to do if you think this way, okay? So learn your major scales. That's step number 2. Step number 3, learn your basic chords, okay? Now, when I say basic chords, what I am referring to are the major chords, minor chords, major 7, dominant 7, your augmented chords, your suspended chords, your diminished chords, okay? So what are those? Those are your basic chords. So you want to learn those. And one thing that I recommend, this is a video that we have available right now in our store, and it's called Understanding Chords. Understanding chords. So if you don't understand, you know, for example, that's C major, or that this is G suspended 13, or this is a B flat dominant 7 with a sharp 11, 13, okay? So if you don't really understand all of that, that's okay. Don't beat up on yourself. You can learn it. And really, it's not that difficult. It's really not that hard. It's just a matter of someone breaking it down for you and you understanding. So I highly recommend, it's a video that we have available now in our store that's called Understanding Chords, okay? And that is important as it relates to playing in every key, okay? We want to eliminate any mystery, and we want to empower ourselves with understanding and empower ourselves with knowledge. And what that's going to do is going to help you break out of that little box of, I can only play in a few keys. You can play in every key. It's just a matter of applying the right information and the right knowledge. So I highly recommend that video. Again, it's called Understanding Chords. It's available in our store, hollandsmusic.com. Click on the store tab, and you can go right to that video, and you can download it today. I highly recommend that, okay? So let's keep going. So learn your basic chords. Learn major, learn minor, learn major 7, learn dominant 7, learn minor 7, learn suspended 4, suspended 7, learn augmented, learn diminished 7, okay? And the thing is, you want to learn those in every key, okay? In the key of D flat, same thing, major, minor, major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, suspended 4, suspended 7, C sharp, diminished 7, C sharp, augmented. Okay, so, and I could go to all 12 of keys doing that. And in the video, I really showed you a simple way where you can really take a major chord and just by moving like one note, you can create another chord. Okay, I just give you a little example of that. This is C major. I believe most of us know this. By simply taking your right hand, if you're playing this in root position, and you take the root in your right hand and move it down 1/2 step, that creates a C major 7 chord. Okay, let's try it in a different key. Let's try it in the key of A. And we want to be able to play A major 7, but we want to be able to do it quick. We don't want to have to think about a lot of numbers. How can we do it real quick? Real simple way, take the root in the right hand and bring it down 1/2 step. And then that makes that A major 7. Let me give you another example. Okay, let's try F major. But say, for example, you need to play F dominant 7, and you want to play it quickly. Okay, and F dominant 7 consists of the numbers 1, 3, 5, and then flat 7. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the root with the right hand, and we're going to bring it down 2 keys or 1 whole step, which is 2 keys. So we're going to do this, 1, 2. So we're going to move from the F to the E flat. We put all that together, and that creates an F dominant 7 chord. Let's try it in a different key. Let's do it in the key of D natural. We're going to start with a D major chord, and we're going to bring this down whole step, which is 2 keys. So we're going to move from D to C natural, and that makes it D dominant 7. Okay, I'm just giving you that as an example of there are easy ways that you can learn all of your basic chords if you know your major chords in root position. And in this video that I recommended, learn or understand chords rather, it shows you how to do it. So I highly recommend that video if you are really, really serious about learning to play in all 12 keys, okay? But let's keep going. So you want to learn all of your basic major chords, okay? So this brings us to our last step. You want to learn to analyze the songs that you know, and then take that analysis or that understanding from analyzing the song and then apply it to different or new keys. All right, this is the 4th and the final step that I'm sharing with you today. Okay, so by analysis, what I'm talking about is like what I did with I Love You, Jesus. All right, I love you, Jesus. I worship and adore. Okay, so what I did was I know how to play that in A flat. So in order to shift it to other keys, I need to analyze it. So this is the 4 chord, right? So in my mind, I write the first chord in this particular section of the song is a 4, all right? And I'm looking for 2 things. I'm looking for the scale number to analyze it as well as the chord quality, okay? So those 2 things, the scale number and the chord quality. So I know the scale number is a 4. The song is in the key of A flat. So we're going to reference the A flat scale, 1, 2, 3, 4. C sharp or D flat rather, okay? So it's on the D flat, so I know my first chord is built on a 4. And then now what I want to do is look at what is the quality of the chord that I'm playing. And by quality, I mean, is it major? Is it minor? Is it dominant 7? Is it suspended 7? Is it some type of dominant 7 chord that's altered that has a flat 5 or a sharp 11? So this is what we're looking for in the analysis, okay? And not to get too deep into that, but to give you a simple way to get started with analyzing chords is by looking at the 3rd of the chord and the 7th of the chord. That gives you a lot of information about the quality of the chord. So let's look at this particular chord right here. All right, so my root note is on the D flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the D flat major chord to help me, the D flat major scale to help me analyze this chord. All right, so let's do the D flat major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so what I'm going to do is pay attention to the 3rd and the 7th of this chord. All right? So now, 1, 2, 3. The 3rd is this F right here. And it is a natural 3rd, okay? So now what does it tell me? It's a natural 3rd, so that means it's some type of major chord. So it could be major, it could be major 7, it could be major 7, 6, 9, it could be major 7, add 2. So, but one great thing that I now know is that it's some type of major chord. So that rules out a lot of things. It rules out minor 7, it rules out suspended, it rules out diminished, it rules out those things. It could be augmented, but mostly it's probably some type of major, okay? Now let's look at the 7th of this particular chord. All right, so let's do the scale again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, and so the 7 is C. So do we have a C in here? We actually do. Right there, okay? So that also tells me something. It tells me that it's not a minor anything. Well, the 3 tells me it's not minor, but the 7th also lets me know that it's not dominant, okay? Because in order to have a dominant chord or a dominant 7th chord, your 7 is going to be flat, okay? I don't want to get too technical in terms of the theory, but as you learn your basic scales and your basic chords, you're going to learn these little things, okay? And what may seem complicated, some of y'all may be thinking, whoa, this is just too deep for me. It's really not that deep. Trust me, it's really not that deep. It's just a matter of getting into it and learning it. And what you will discover is that you will get to the place where all of these things will be happening in your mind on a subconscious level. You know, now when you're learning it, you got to really focus on it and pay attention. But you really can't get to the place where all of those calculations are happening in your brain and it's happening on a subconscious level. And really, consciously, you're not even thinking about it. And that's what you want. And I really believe that that's going to happen for some people that are watching me right now. If you really take the time and you make up your mind, I don't want to be stuck to playing in 3 or 4 keys. I don't want to be stuck in playing in just, the black keys or the white keys or whatever the case may be for you. I don't want anyone to feel bad. If you don't play in all 12 keys yet, don't feel bad. Guess what? Today is a brand new day, and you can make up your mind that I'm going to master this. And so I'm not going to be dependent on the transpose button. Guess what? If you use the transpose button, guess what? The transpose police are not coming to your house. And they are not going to put you in transpose handcuffs. So I'm not here to beat up on anybody. Do whatever you need to do to get through a situation. But what I am saying is, if you have a desire to where you don't want to have to use it, you don't have to. And if you use these things that I'm sharing with you, I guarantee you within a few days, you're going to start seeing some improvement. Within a few weeks, you're going to be in a whole nother place. And within a few months, you'll be to the place where, yeah, that guy was actually right. Playing in every key is not that hard at all. As a matter of fact, it's not hard. And I believe that's what you will be able to say. Okay? So now let's take another song and apply what we've learned. And then it's going to be your turn after that. Okay? So let's take the song Miracle Work. It's real popular. Has only a few basic chords in it. And it'll be something I think that's good for us to demonstrate this, okay? So let's take it in the key of C. All right? in the key of C major. Okay, now it's a pretty simple song in terms of the way that it's moving. So now let's look at the key of C. Now we're in the key of C playing this now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now, first chord is an F major chord, and that's on the 4. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So now this is the next chord, which is a C major chord. All right, which is simply C, E, G. I'm just spreading it out, just adding some color tones to it. I have the 2 in there too. But this is the 1 chord. And so the quality is major. The bass note is 1. And then we go to the next chord. The quality is a major chord over the 5. And then it does this. All right. Now, when it comes to licks, you can do the same thing. You can analyze the notes or the numbers that you're playing. So I'm doing a 1, 2, 3, 1, and then 6. All right. And then we can play a minor chord. Now I played a minor 11 right here. Now you don't have to play a minor 11. You can just simply play minor. All right. And it's the quality is minor over the number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we start over. 4. All right, so we're starting with the 4, and the quality is major. We go to the 1. Chord quality is major. We go to the 5. The chord quality is major, and then we do a little lick right here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 6. Chord quality is minor over the 6. All right, so that's pretty simple. I think we can remember that. So we started with the 4. Chord quality is major. 1. Quality is major. 5. Quality is major. 6. Quality is minor. We played a little lick and then go to the 6. So we have 4 major, 1 major, 5 major. Play the lick, 1, 2, 3, 1, go to the chord, which is minor over 6. So now that's what I'm thinking. Now, there was a lot to think about or to say out loud, you know, but you'll get to the place where all of that happens like that in your head, okay? So let's see if I can apply the same thing to some different keys. Let's try a key that I hadn't played in today. Let's try the key of B flat. All right, so the B flat major scale would be this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're going to apply what we've just learned. So we figured out that we want a 4, which is E flat in the key of B flat, and we want the major quality, then 1. With a major quality, then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is F major. And then we do a little lick. Remember, 1, 2, 3, 1. Then the minor chord. 1, 2, 3, 1, and then we go to the 6. So I know that. So once, and then too, once you figure out the actual numbers in your head and the quality of the chords, you can start to now embellish them. And then I keep going, okay? So, and I can apply this to another key if I want to. Let's try it in the key of E major. can keep going. So what I'm trying to do is show you that this will actually help you in real life. And that's what I want to do. Help you as a musician in real situations, okay? So again, number one, first thing you have to do, change the way you think. There's no such thing as a hard key, okay? There's no such thing as a difficult key. There are only unfamiliar keys that, watch this, guess what? It's time for us to get familiar in now, all right? And then think mathematically. Think like a mathematician as it relates to your playing. That's the first thing. Second thing, learn your major scales. And when I say learn them, really learn them, knowing the numbers that go to each note of the scale. Number three, learn your basic chords, major, minor, major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, augmented, suspended, diminished. Learn those and be able to play them in each key. And then finally, take songs that you know well, analyze them, figure out, okay, so what number is this particular chord in the scale? And then what is the quality of the chord? Figure that out. Take a section of the song, figure those things out. If you need to, write them down. It's okay to do that because you'll get to the place where eventually you won't have to. But it's okay. Take your time. It may be a slow process for you. You may say, man, I can't go that fast. Take your time. Go as slow as you need to. And before you know it, you'll be doing this in your mind and not even thinking about it. And you will get to the place, I heard a musician say at the church, where I minister at, I heard a musician say one of the singers wanted to change the key of the song because she felt like it was too high for her. And I heard the musician say, he said, we can do whatever key you want. It doesn't matter to me. And he really meant that. He wasn't trying to be arrogant or boastful or anything. It really did matter to him because he was comfortable in each one of them. And why? Because of thinking like this. Okay? That's what I want for you, and I know that you can do it. And so just want to encourage you, no matter where you are, you can accomplish this if you apply these things that I've shared with you today. And then again, I want to encourage you to pick up that video, which is entitled again, Understanding Chords. Simply go to hollandsmusic.com, click on the store tab, and then you can download that video today. And I really, really believe that it is going to help you. Okay? All right. We have several different videos of all different kinds, organ and piano. If you want to take your playing to a new level, if you want to really equip yourself, empower yourself as a gospel musician, so you can play for your church, so you can play for a ministry, or if you just love gospel music and you want to incorporate that sound into your playing, I have so many different videos that are available that I really believe will benefit you and help you in what it is that you're trying to do. So again, go to hollandsmusic.com and go to the store tab. You can look at all of the videos and you can download them today. Okay? Thank you so much. This was a long video, but I hope it helped. I hope it helped somebody, and I hope it really helped you to really think about your playing in a different way and make a difference in your playing. Okay? Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel and comment, on this channel, and share if you would. I really believe it will benefit people that see it. And so remember, HMPI, we're serving gospel musicians all over the world.